So after yesterday's meeting, my staff members came and said that I offered Synfig Studio to all the principals. How do we organize it? They were planning on something else. I think JMOL, right? JMOL. Of course, JMOL is also interesting, visualizing molecules, but I thought this is more generic. So I said, what's the problem? We will combine JMOL and Chem Collective virtual labs. And then, because both are chemistry, and so that's how we organized. The number I thought was a lot bigger than I expected. I think there was, in fact, there was a news item in today's or yesterday's paper that how somebody who didn't belong to IIT attended some courses and he got arrested. Did you see the news? It was 2 days ago, yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. It was on Monday, yeah. And so, of course, we welcome. We are happy that the numbers increased. Looks like there were some other people also, because we have an attendance, we have a list of people. But I was happy to see all the labs full, and happy that we could make the principals do some computer work. And and because that's actually one way to prevent aging. People say that you have to keep learning things, otherwise you will have more and more gray cells, and so it's better that you keep learning. One of the things that I feel about this particular approach is I have heard when I was a small boy, I studied in the government school, paying only 10 rupees a year. That was a tuition, annual fees. And that's what we could afford in those days, right? Only 10 rupees a year. And I have seen some teachers, we had good teachers. We also had some teachers who said, who knows more, you or me, right? So it's often because of the fear that they will get, they'll become, people will not respect them. And when I went to PhD in the US, there was a very famous person, Professor J.D. Helms at Rice University in Houston. Very famous, and I was taking his class, and one day somebody asked a question. Professor Helms said, that's a good question. I never thought about it. Let me think about it and answer tomorrow, right? So he was not scared of saying, look, I don't know the answer, right? So I think exposure to such people, such incidents, makes one a lot more broad-minded. In fact, I was telling the other day, I don't know whether you all know Professor Anil Sahasrabudhe. Anil Sahasrabudhe, he used to be the chairman AICTE. Now he is chairman of many accreditation agencies. He's a very good friend. Because before this, I used to be the head of CDEEP, Center for Distance Engineering Education Program. Before this means 2005 to 2009. I was there for 4 or 5 years. And at that time, he was the director of COEP, College of Engineering, Pune. And the chairman board of governors was Mr. F.C. Kohli, who is considered the father of Indian IT, because he established TCS, right? So, Mr. Kohli told me one day, can you please transmit your courses? I want COEP students to get IIT experience. He explained what is IIT experience. It's incredible. He said, I want my students, because live transmission, we did that, by the way. We did that. And I was heading that unit. He explained, when IIT professors make a mistake, right, I want my students to see it. I want them to realize that it is okay to make mistakes. Anybody can make mistakes, right? When the faculty member cracks a joke, I want my students to see it. I want them to know that one doesn't have to be serious all the time. Okay? He also said, I want my teachers to see that all lectures at IIT are delivered and delivered on time. I want my students to go and ask my faculty members, when IIT faculty members are delivering lectures, every lecture, why are you refusing to teach? Come to the class. I want my teachers to ask my students, look, IIT students are doing so much work, homework, so on and so forth. Why are you refusing to work? Come to the class, do the homework. He said, this is IIT experience. It is possible to, for example, video courses. You record it, remove all bad things and release it. You get the content. It's like a book. But you do not get the pedagogy of how this person is handling the class and things like that. So, he said IIT experience is important, that we will get. So, going back to that story that I talked about, one of the things that some faculty members at least will have hesitation in asking, because we are talking about IT. Who knows more about IT? Is it the teacher or the student? Right? The student knows. But then, all said and done, we have some hesitation. How can I ask my student to explain to me? So if self-learning is available, then you don't have to ask anybody. Anybody who is motivated in learning can, sit at home or wherever and learn by yourself. It's all there. And the method is the same as what you did today. If you are able to do animation, if you are able to rotate the molecules and visualize them, you can learn everything from these videos. So that way I feel that this methodology is especially useful to some people who may be hesitant. Of course, there is nothing wrong in asking, hey, I don't understand this, can you explain? That is okay, but we don't necessarily do that. For such situation, and there could be other reasons for that, because it's not clear how it happens in schools, what are the issues a teacher faces and things like that. But a self-learning thing will be very useful. I think so. That way, it will help all faculty members also to learn and to reduce the gray cells. Keep learning. We have so many topics, and so I would strongly recommend it. And I want to thank you all for coming here. As I said on the first day, faculty members are used to talking for 1 hour. I can go on, right? But I think we have things to do, and really happy you could all come. And I want to thank you all. Some of you told me that you would invite me to your schools, organize principals and so on. We'll be more than happy. We'll be more than happy. In fact, this is something that we promised to Mr. N.K. Sinha. N.K. Sinha, I mentioned yesterday, is the man who dreamt about something like this. NME-ICT, National Mission on Education through ICT. Amazing, incredible person. And in fact, he proposed a $2 billion mission. He said, KG to 18th class. 18th means PhD, right? That's what he meant. KG to all the way that. And but then the school education didn't like it. we have two departments in MHRD. So at that time, Ministry of Education, Ministry of School Education and Literacy, SEL, School Education and Literacy, that was one, and the other one was Department of Higher Education. He was a joint secretary in Department of Higher Education. So the ministry said, you take care of the higher education, school education we'll take care of. So that $2 billion became a $1 billion mission. Half of it was taken by the School Education and Literacy Department. And later on, after seeing this, they said that, NMEICT is doing well. We should extend this to schools also. That is the reason why it came a lot later. Otherwise, the plans were, let's get started from 2009 itself. But we got delayed, but that's okay. We could, in a smaller setting, all said and done, schools are a lot more difficult because you have children of impressionable age. So there have to be more regulations. Whereas if it is college, it is a lot easier because all that you have to do is you have to convince one faculty member. Say that we want to roll this out in your college, and they believe they can go and talk to the principal and say, I can handle it, and immediately we get rolling. That's the reason why we are present in more than 700 colleges, 700, maybe 800 colleges. But school is difficult because of this very reason. But on the other hand, many of the things that we had done are keeping the school in mind, namely dubbing in local languages, right? Because it turns out that in colleges when we go, most people want to learn in English only. Most people, right? But in schools, I believe that it will be extremely useful, especially when we go to rural and remote areas. And who knows, the parents of children also learn. I know parents doing homework. Parents can be given, they can pass the 12th grade once again, right? So let them learn in whatever language they are comfortable with. So that is something that we can make available, right? So, and of course, not having internet and so on and so forth, and creating it suitable for self-learning and so on. So many of these things are suitable for schools. So I'm happy that you all come forward. It is a difficult problem, as I mentioned, because schools are more difficult. One reason is we are also not used to schools. We know exactly how to deal with colleges. But schools, but these are created with schools in mind. So seek your help to scale this to schools. And thank you once again for joining us. And what else can I say? That's all. Thank you.